everyone, it's Katrina and welcome back to my channel. So I'm back today with another recommendations video, and I actually planned to make this video last July or August when Steven had requested one, but at that time I had a few things in my mind to recommend, but I didn't feel very happy with them. So today it is half a year later, but I finally have a list of 6 things that I am happy to recommend to you all. So hope you all enjoyed this video, and let's get to the recommendation. So the first thing I want to recommend is EcoSIA. EcoSIA is basically your eco-friendly search engine, and it's completely free. You just have to download the extension to whatever browser you're using, and you would just continue searching like you do with your regular Google. So they take the money they get from their ad clicks and they basically plant trees all over the world, and I believe it's 1 tree for every 45 searches. So I've been using EcoSIA for the past several months, and I have planted 1,308 trees, and they actually have a little counter so you can keep track of how many trees you've planted. But it is just so cool what they do, and they use 80 to 100% of their revenue to plant trees. And if you look on their website, they are so transparent with how many trees they're planting, where they're planting, their goals for the future. I found that it's pretty much the same as Google search engine. The one thing that I did notice was that when I'm trying to look up a definition of a word, if I type in that word and then just click enter, it doesn't pop up the definition right away. I have to click onto dictionary.com or something like that. So that's the one slight inconvenience, but other than that, EcoSIA is such a great tool that I really recommend you all spending that 2 minutes just to add onto your computer, and then you can be helping the environment. So the next thing I want to recommend is also free and on the internet for everybody, and it is this article called A More or Less Definitive Guide to Showing Up for Friends. My friend Ria shared this on Facebook several months ago and ended up loving this article. I bookmarked it and I knew that I wanted to put it in my next recommendations video. So basically this article talks about how you can be more present and how you can create more meaningful and lasting bonds with the people in your life. Your friends, your family, your coworkers, your boyfriend or girlfriend. I think that friendships and relationships have been something that have been on my mind for the past couple of years. I really want to continue improving as a friend. I think that sometimes I'm a good friend, but there are definitely a lot of areas where I can improve on. When I read this article, I felt good at some times because I was like, I'm doing these things, you know, I'm checking this off, I do this, but there were a lot of points that I hadn't even thought about. It never even crossed my mind that I should be doing these things for the people in my life. It just gave me so many ideas, and it just made me realize how far I have to go in being the friend that I want to be. I think this is a great read. It is a bit long. It has 66 different ways to show up for the people in your life, but I think that it is a great read, and I think it's good to be mindful about which points resonate with you, which points actually apply to the relationships in your life, because there are so many different points that are made in this article, and not all of them will, you know, make sense for the relationships that you're in. So I think that it's good to pick and choose which ones fit for you and the people in your life. I will link the article in my description box below, and you can give it a read if you'd like, and you can also share it with the people in your life too if you want them to do a little extra for you. So the next thing on my list are these fresh sugar lip treatments. So the 2 that I like are the tinted lip treatment in Rosé, and then their advanced therapy lip treatment in the no color one. Last year, I think it was around March, my lips started becoming very, very dry, and the middle part just felt like sandpaper. So I decided I really wanted to try to work towards healing my lips rather than just like putting things on top of it. So I decided to finally fork out the money to buy, I think, which one was the first one I bought? No, actually, the first one I bought was a sample. So the first one I bought was this mini set from Nordstrom. I ended up loving the Rosé one. The honey one I actually don't like. I just feel like it gives a really artificial sheen on the lips, and I didn't like how it felt, didn't like how it looked. So I have such a love-hate relationship with these things. Yeah, I keep going back for it, but I will talk about the pros and cons. So I'll start with the cons. First one, the most obvious one, is that it is expensive. This tinted lip treatment is $24 a tube, and the advanced treatment is $26 a tube. Now, let me just show you how many I've gotten so far. And this is a new one that I haven't used yet. This one was actually a gift. A few of these were gifts. A few of these I used gift cards on, but most of them, yes, I did purchase with my own money, and some tonga kind of hurts my heart a little bit that I spent this much on lip products in the last year. Anyway, so the second con is that they are very prone to melting because there are not a lot of preservatives in these products and they do have a lot of natural ingredients in them. These are not things that you would want to put in your pocket and just let it sit there against your warm body all day. They will melt. You don't want to leave this in your car, you don't want to leave it in your purse and then put your purse in the sun. So if you do find that it melts a little bit, I would pop it into the fridge. So a few pros of these things: I've never felt a chapstick or lip balm that felt this good. It just glides on so softly and I really feel like it actually goes into my lips and unchaps it somehow. I really think that this is a formula that works well for me and I freaking love it. Another thing I like is that the Rosé one gives me the slightest tint of pink that I feel is enough for an everyday wear. So I don't feel the need to put extra lipstick on top of this. So the next thing I want to recommend is Manuka Honey. So ever since last fall, when I started getting sick, I started drinking a lot of honey lemon water. But then my doctor told me that with LPR, I should really not be taking in acids, especially from lemon. So ever since then, I decided to just put honey and hot water, and I've been drinking honey water every day since then. Manuka honey is a special kind of honey from the native New Zealand tree, the Manuka tree, and there has been said to be a lot of antibacterial and immune system benefits, healing properties that come with Manuka honey. You could do your own research. I just did some research, enough for me to be like, okay, that's good enough for me. Anyway, Manuka honey, some of them come with UMF, and that is the unique Manuka factor, and that's the one way you can guarantee that it is actually Manuka honey in here, because a lot of times they say that it's Manuka honey, but then they're just kind of putting it out there. There's maybe just a little bit of Manuka honey in the jar. So these Manuka honey jars are quite pricey. If you just want honey, regular honey, which is also good for you, you can probably find those for a lot cheaper. Before, I used to take one fat old spoon just because I was like, alright, I need more to heal myself. But now I only put about half or even a quarter of a spoon just because I don't like the super sweet flavor. But I just feel like it kind of soothes my throat and it just gives me, you know, a more warm, cozy feeling in my body when I take it in. So kind of on the same note with my honey, the next thing I recommend is this Throat Coat Organic Caffeine-Free Herbal Tea. And this is something that my cousin Bonnie introduced me to. Her teacher gave it to her when she was having a sore throat and she swore by it. She said it was magical. Her throat just healed the next day. She woke up without her sore throat and I was like, damn. I actually haven't had a really bad sore throat since then, but whenever I feel like my throat is a little bit itchy, I do drink a little bit of this and I don't end up reaching the level of sore throat. So I do think that it does help a bit. It's a little bit sweet, florally, is that a word? Florally. It definitely tastes better with honey. So I mix a bag of this with a spoon of this and it just makes this magical tea for when I have a sore throat. And it's actually pretty green. So it comes with compostable tea bags and they use renewable energy to make it and they use recycled carton for the box. So it's pretty green. I actually bought the last 2 boxes at our Target yesterday, so you might have to wait till they restock if you're in the area. So moving on, I finally have another book recommendation for you because I finally finished another book and it is Becoming by my girl, Michelle Obama. So my friend Eileen bought me this for Christmas. It is her memoir and I really enjoyed it. I never knew that I could relate so much to First Lady Michelle Obama, and I just feel like I know her now. I was telling my friend, dude, I feel like I know her now. You know, when I saw President Barack Obama post the picture for Michelle's birthday, I was just like, damn, I feel an extra special connection with them now, you know? I cried a lot while reading this book. I cried happy tears reading about her and Barack Obama's love story. I just felt so proud hearing her reach her dreams, and I felt so sad hearing her feel insecure. And above all, I felt like I could really relate to her and her story and her personality, feeling vulnerable, feeling insecure, feeling like she's not enough sometimes. And so I really appreciated this book. I feel like it gave so much insight on what it's like being married to somebody in politics and what it was like being in the White House and having all that spotlight on you, having all that criticism, and it's just things that I never really thought about. So I would highly recommend this book. I really hope that one day I can meet Michelle Obama and maybe invite her to my classroom. Do I look like her? So finally, we're on the last thing I want to recommend, and this is something that I cannot take credit for, but it is this rice scooper makeup brush cleaner. So this is an idea I got from Joan Kim / Joan Day on YouTube. I was watching one of her skincare videos and she used a rice scooper to clean her makeup brushes, and I thought it was genius. So I went through my kitchen and I saw that we had an extra one. So you want to use the ones that have little bumps on them. And basically what I do is I squeeze a little bit of an old face cleanser that I don't really use, and I just take my makeup brush and I'll just swirl it on here, and it just looks like chocolate juice coming out. It's crazy. It cleans it very well, and it's a great alternative to buying those expensive makeup remover matte brush cleaner things that they sell. If you have an extra one of these in your kitchen, I would highly recommend using it. One of my goals for 2019 is also to clean my brushes more, so I cleaned it once this month, which is good. Hopefully I can do it once more before the month is over. So that's all for today's recommendations. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you check any of these out, if you enjoyed any of these recommendations, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye! Whoosh!